Are you struggling to make your relative layout fill the remaining space in a collapsing toolbar layout? You're not alone. This is a common challenge for many Android developers, and today we're going to solve it together. I completely understand how frustrating it can be when your layout doesn't behave as expected. You want your content centered and visually appealing, but the layout just won't cooperate. Trust me, this is a common issue. Here's the specific question we're addressing today. One user asked, how can I make my relative layout fill the remaining space below a collapsing toolbar layout? They shared their layout code and images, showing how the relative layout isn't filling the space as intended. Sound familiar? Let's dive into the solution. So what's happening here? When you set the height of your relative layout to match parent, it takes up the entire height of the root layout, including the collapsing toolbar layout. This is why your content isn't centered as you want it to be. And stay tuned. At the end of this video, I'll share a quick tip that can help you avoid similar layout issues in the future. To make the relative layout fill the remaining space below the collapsing toolbar layout, the user should change the height of the relative layout. Instead of using wrap content, they should set it to match parent. Next, the user needs to ensure that the relative layout is positioned correctly within the coordinator layout. They should add a layout behavior to the relative layout to allow it to respond to the scrolling of the app bar layout. Now, to ensure that the relative layout only takes the space below the collapsing toolbar layout, the user should set the height of the relative layout to 0 and use layout weight to fill the remaining space. Finally, the user should verify that the linear layout inside the relative layout is centered correctly. They can do this by ensuring that the linear layout has the appropriate layout parameters. Fun fact, did you know that the first Android version was released in 2008? Just like Android has evolved, so have our layout challenges. Let's keep up with the changes. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative solution proposed by another user involves using an app bar scroll listener. This method allows you to dynamically adjust the height of your relative layout based on the height of the app bar. Let's take a look at an answer from another user. An alternative solution provided by another user suggests modifying the relative layout's height to match parent. This allows it to fill the remaining space beneath the collapsing toolbar layout. The user also includes a code snippet demonstrating this approach. Now, let's dive into a different answer from another user. An alternative solution provided by another user suggests modifying the relative layout. They recommend setting the layout height to wrap content and adding a layout weight of 1. This allows the relative layout to fill the remaining space while keeping the content centered. That's it for that answer. Let's take a look at another one. An alternative solution provided by another user suggests adding 2 attributes to the relative layout. Specifically, set the gravity to center and add a layout weight of 1. This will help the relative layout fill the remaining space below the collapsing toolbar layout. Here's that quick tip I promised. Always remember to use layout weight when dealing with layouts that need to share space. It can save you a lot of headaches down the road. And there you have it. Your relative layout should now fill the remaining space below the collapsing toolbar layout perfectly. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks on Android development.